6 months ago, I hit burnout again. I think that word gets both over and underused, and I know it means different things to different people. For me, it had been this subtle decline of rest and margin in my life, and ever increasing levels of exhaustion and anxiety. It hit me over the summer, but it had been building for a long time. I was stuck in this cycle of burnout and recovery. I'd crash and rest again and again, each time thinking I just needed a break. I was simply taking on too much, and then I would go back to the same set of habits that were suffocating the peace in my life. Taking on too much wasn't the problem. I was trying to force myself into a pace and a rhythm of life that I truly don't think I'm made for. Found this journal entry that I wrote in August of last year. Lately, I've been feeling this urge to slow down, to make shorter to-do lists, set fewer goals, and just exist for a while. I feel like I've been in the state of trying to play catch up for a long time, but I don't even know what it is that I'm chasing. I just never feel like I'm there, and I'm tired. I constantly felt like I was in pursuit of something. I was running myself ragged, chasing a life I hadn't stopped to ask if I wanted, and calling it purpose, and it was killing me. The burnout that hit me over the summer came after an 18-month period of operating on survival mode. My life had just been a series of one stressful event after another, even though a lot of them were great things. And by the time this particular burnout hit, I had absolutely no capacity to deal with it. And so, for the first time, I stopped asking myself, what do I need to get back on track? And I started asking myself, what kind of path am I on? That this is my life all of the time. But I'm feeling this anxiety, this exhaustion on a soul level, and the pattern just keeps repeating. Even in those lowest moments, I was very aware of how fortunate I am. I've always had a roof over my head. I have an incredibly supportive husband and a wonderful family, and I never want to take any of those things for granted. It was not, wow, look how crappy my life is. It was, how can I be in this position and still be so miserable? When I gave myself the flexibility to actually start questioning some of the big pieces in my life, things that terrified me to ask questions about, I was able to recognize a lot of the things in my life that do really bring me peace. Some are people, some are hobbies, some are books or TV shows, ways to spend time. And I also realized that the counterpart to that was not only were there things that relieved my anxiety, there were specific parts of my life and my mindset that were stoking the fire. And at this point, I don't think I've talked about this yet, but at this point in time, one of the biggest stressors and anxiety creators in my life was YouTube. I very nearly pulled the plug altogether, deleted my channel, wiped myself from the face of the internet, but at the same time, I really love this platform, and creating is something that's brought me so much joy. So instead, I decided I would try a 30-day digital detox, and I really used this as an opportunity to do a hard reset in my life. I mean, I committed. For the month of October, as much as was within my control, I operated under the principle that if this is something that's going to bring me peace, I will do it, and if not happening. Of course, that doesn't include every single second of my day. There are things that you just have to do. This also included a lot of things that I didn't necessarily want to do, like clean up my kitchen every night and meal plan and prep for the week. Over that month, I started to notice that when I gave myself the time, enough margin to really do those things and experienced the benefits that they offered in my life without distraction, I started enjoying them a lot more. For a full month, I was off of Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I left my phone in black and white, and I tried to spend as much time as possible in non-tech related activities. I started Project 333 and had my first taste of what an organized capsule wardrobe felt like. As we were preparing to move, I took the natural opportunity to really lean into the process of decluttering our home, and we got rid of so much stuff. I caught up with friends I hadn't texted back in months because I really thought I just didn't have the time. I rested, and it was incredible. At the end of my digital detox, I entered into month 2 of my hard reset. The integration back online was actually quite challenging. I had decided that I really wanted to stay on YouTube, but I wanted to pull back from sponsorships, and that left me feeling a little bit stressed financially, as well as making this pivot in my content away from this kind of go productivity. After having made videos that were kind of instructional how-to productivity tips in the past, it's scary to come on the internet and say, I had it wrong. There was a lot of truth in those videos and principles that I still would say I stand by, but the way I'm implementing them into my life looks so radically different from how it did then. That is part of my journey, and I know that's how a lot of you found me, and I can't tell you how much it means to me that you've chosen to stay. Seeing the reception of that and how many of you really resonated with this concept of peaceful productivity and a slower pace of life really made me fall back in love with YouTube. Whether we're talking about burnout, anxiety, minimalism, intentional living, we all have our own stories with it. And I'm not here to tell you that you need to do everything the way that I'm doing it or that I've got it all figured out. I really don't. In fact, I would say the start to 2024 has been incredibly humbling for me and reminding me of that. I love the new year and I've always been a big kind of new year reset girl. And I've been battling with myself, trying to stay away from that mindset and that attitude of, okay, it's January, get your crap together. Who you are this month is who you will be this year. Not true. The more you get done, the better you are. Not true. I know I told you that's something that I've quit to simplify, but truthfully, I am still actively quitting and still unlearning those things. This is the beautiful, excruciating truth about slow living. It's wired into us, whether we choose it or not. We grow, evolve, and change slowly. The vision that I have for my life, core things I really want haven't changed. But after opening up the flexibility for them to shift, I started to realize the methods I was using to try and hit goals or accomplish things or move myself forward were focused much more on what I was doing rather than who I was becoming. And I think changing that has been the most important shift I've made over the last few months. I still have goals, there are still things I hope to accomplish, and boxes I would love to be able to check. But tying my worth to them was so incredibly dangerous. If I build the foundation of my life on having built a successful business or a certain subscriber count, have a certain number of kids, I'm constantly going to be living in fear of that falling apart. And I'm not interested in doing that. Of course, things could still fall apart for me. I'm sure they will in one way or another. But I'm no longer finding my value or my sense of identity or my hope in the future from those things. While that may not translate directly to slow living for you, it did for me. Because when I let go of all of the extra crap, I had so much more margin in my life and my mind to experience peace and to invite joy and fun into my life, to get rid of clutter in every sense and actually just be able to focus on the things that matter most. I use that phrase a lot in my videos and I'm always afraid that it's going to lose its meaning because it's so incredibly important. You can't do it all. 3 months ago, I hard reset my life with slow living. And yes, it's made me happier. It's made me ironically more productive, more at peace, but ultimately, I think it's made me more myself, more of who I was meant to be. And because of that, I can live my life so much more fully. I can be a better wife, a better friend, sister, daughter, neighbor. I have so much more to learn. I'm really excited to see what this year has and trying to just go into it with open hands and few expectations. Honestly, above all else, I'm really hoping this is a boring year, but I want to continue to learn to live slow, even when it's not. I really appreciate you guys being here. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, it would mean the world to me if you would give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. It's so helpful to my channel. And I'd love to know if you have any experiences with slow living, if this is something that you are exploring, considering, or something you've been practicing for a while. If you have any tips for me, I would love to hear them. Each and every one of you means the absolute world to me. I cannot believe I'm almost at 15,000 subscribers. It blows my mind. I'm just so grateful to have you all here and to continue to share with you as I go on this journey. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a good day because today is a good day to have a good day. And that's it. Bye.